Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're going to have some lingering showers and thunderstorms out there and more developing on Wednesday. Pockets of heavy rainfall can't be ruled out with some of these thunderstorms, and then drying out as we get into Thursday afternoon, Friday, and also into this upcoming weekend. So improving weather later this week. But we do need the rain. We still have severe drought in that orange color, even extreme drought across the panhandle in that red coloring. These are the amounts of precipitation that we are below since January 1st. Parkersburg, 2 3/4 of an inch below average, and Charleston sitting at 5 1/3 inches below average since the beginning of the year. Over the next few days, again through midweek, we do expect to see a few pockets of maybe an inch of total rainfall. Again, these showers and thunderstorms will be moving through during the rest of our Tuesday, and then we'll have some additional showers and storms popping up on Wednesday as well. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Showers and thunderstorms in Atlanta. They need the rain, as well as D.C. It has been very dry in those particular areas, but as we head into the overnight hours from panhandle to panhandle, readings will be falling down into the 60s with more thunderstorms. Again, pockets of heavy rain at times on Wednesday. Davis will be at 60 degrees tomorrow morning. 62 degrees as we head a little farther east, and those daytime highs again approaching 80 degrees from some spots off to the east and also to the south near Moorfield and Petersburg. Sutton will be at 64 degrees, Spencer 64 overnight, and those daytime highs on Wednesday again into the mid 70s in Elkins. Logan at 67 degrees, Wayne 64, and daytime highs again approaching the upper 70s. Showers and thunderstorms fade later Thursday, drying out as we head into the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law. MetroNews Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. For your entertainment, Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Or call 800-765-8255. Here's the host for MetroNews Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right.
Come on, Dave. Say something.
I'm supposed to talk now? Hello, West Virginia. We're back for more in the 304. Time to get it done in the 681. Time to start this 3-hour audio tour for Monday, May 26th, 2026. MetroNews Hotline. MetroNews Hotline comes to you from the Salango Law Studios. Visit salangolaw.com. Coming back after a 3-day weekend. It's a short week.
Yeah.
It's a short week on the show, Coop. How was your weekend? How was your Memorial Day?
It was good.
What about you, Ryan? Memorial Day good for you?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. Little overcast outside right now. 72 degrees here in the big town as we operate out of our flagship 580 WCHS. Coop, I guess we're bracing here on the network for the big West Virginia high school softball tournament. Coverage begins tomorrow. Class AA. I will say this though, there is there's a flood watch that kicks in at 2 a.m. tonight and will run all day tomorrow. So
okay.
we will be we'll be rocking and rolling with that. So once the softball tournament begins here in Charleston, well actually at Little Creek Park over in South Charleston, close to where I live, we'll keep you updated on all that stuff. So it's a Tickets Tuesday. We have our final. How many are we totally out of Chicago tickets?
Yeah,
is this it?
Yeah, the concert's in a few weeks, so yeah, that's
what
that's
about
the last
what about me? I mean, you got any tickets for me?
You can have these if you want to tell the listeners.
No. Listeners come first.
You're welcome to them.
Listeners come first. So we got a Tickets
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
You know the answer to the trivia, so you can.
I did write it.
The first one to get the right answer.
We got good categories today. Well, I guess the listeners will determine that as well.
Yeah,
but
bold of you to assert.
Yeah.
That's right. I did write these questions. Oh, they're good.
Good category number 1, Dave's favorite athletes.
There you go. There you go. So at 5:33, we'll play Tickets Tuesday for 2 tickets to go see Chicago here in Charleston. June 20th, right? June 20th?
Yeah.
Okay. June 20th is the night of the show. Well, I'll confirm that. I think I've got that right. But here's how it works. At 5:33, we open up the phone lines. You get on the air with me. You pick a category. The categories rotate. The categories for today are WVU baseball in the NCAA tournament. That's one category. Category number 2 is also a baseball category. Perfect games. Perfect games. And then the third category, as always, is the mystery category, where something that will be revealed in the show today will be the answer to the mystery category. So we've had a lot of fun playing with it. Once again, Coop, if the first person out of the box answers the question correctly, let's do what we can to try to keep the other people on the line.
It's up to them.
They was like, it's not, they don't want. Why do they drop off? Why do they drop off?
Because they just want the tickets.
Yeah, there's nothing to win.
What about talking to me?
Yeah, that's not really a prize, Dave.
Well, I guess maybe it's. Well, I don't know. I would stay on the line.
Also, you encourage people to just call you throughout the show. There's not really anything keeping them from calling in, like during the crosstalk, for example.
Well, that is true. I suppose that is true.
Yeah. Solid. Yeah.
Solid point there. Solid point there. Oh, man, what a weekend in Charleston. Did you go to the Vandalia gathering?
I did not.
Have you been to the Vandalia?
Oh, yeah, I've been before, yes.
Oh, man, that is such a cool event. Such a cool event.
Did you go?
This year I did not.
Yeah,
this year I did not. I got chased off by the rain. I'm a big baby, and I didn't go yesterday because of the rain, but I've gone multiple times.
Coop,
I love that kind of music.
Can you clip that? Can you clip Dave saying he's a big baby? Can you clip that for future use, please?
Yeah, I
probably
can.
And then we got Festival running this week.
Oh, yeah, Festival.
So Festival is
right.
In progress. So Charleston's where it's at, man. Charleston is where
What's
it's
going
at. Let's see. WVU got their assignment in the regionals. They will host the NCAA regionals beginning on Friday against Binghamton. And then Kentucky, Kentucky, one of the last teams in the field. Wake Forest also in the field. So we'll be talking quite a bit about that this week. Cubs, man, what's going on with the Cubs? You see what they've lost 9 in a row?
Yeah.
Memorial Day, that's normally when you take stock of where you are in a Major League Baseball season. In the first 50 games, the Cubs have 2 10-game winning streaks and a 9-game losing streak. What's that mean?
It means
What does that mean?
It means you're not a great ball team, just probably decent. A lot of teams in the Central are like that. They're above 500 teams, but they're not necessarily dominant.
Yeah, let's see. The Reds are in New York to play the Mets, and they're playing the Mets at exactly the right time. Is Soto going to play tonight?
I don't know.
He didn't play. He didn't play yesterday. Lindor's not playing. They've got a couple of other guys who aren't playing. Simeon played yesterday.
There hasn't been in many terrible times to play the Mets this
yeah,
season.
that's a solid point.
And it is. I don't dislike the Mets at the same level as like the Cardinals or the Cubs or somebody like that. But it's still nice when you're in New York. And it's like the 4th inning, and the home team is just booing the Mets relentlessly.
I know.
It makes you feel a little good in your soul.
Yeah, I know. So the Reds will play, and Burns goes tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So the Reds are playing the Mets tonight at Citi Field. The Dirty Birds had Monday off. You'd think that the Dirty Birds would have a game on Memorial
Strange,
Day,
right? There's a lot of weird stuff over there. I know, it's weird.
That's odd. But normally the Atlantic League takes Monday off. So the Dirty Birds are playing tonight. They're opening up a midweek series against High Point. They got a mid-morning game tomorrow, but tonight's game begins at 6:30 over the ballpark. Hey, did you see that Nick Senzel's in the Atlantic League?
Is he really?
Yeah, he just signed he's in Lexington.
Nick Cincinnati.
Yeah, there you go.
The hope of the great hope of Cincinnati futures.
Oh, man, think about that. So,
wow. Can he see? Is it like is everything over there working?
I don't know.
Man, I'm just saying that because man, that guy was like a number 1 draft pick.
Yes,
right?
he was. He was on that big board of like all of those hot prospects the year he came up.
Yeah, man, and he's like the guy that There's like a lot of
Just-
guys in that
Didn't
year that
work
were so
out.
good.
Didn't work out. Who was the other? Oh, now he didn't really hurt the Reds too badly, but we've been off for 3 days. So did you see the Bryan Torres story from the Cardinals? The guy who hit a home run on Saturday. For the Cardinals, he had a home run. He'd been in the minor leagues for 11 years.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was in the rookie league squad with Milwaukee for 5 years. 5 years. Couple of stops in the Atlantic League, took a year off, 11 years in the minor leagues, and in the first game of that doubleheader on Saturday hit a home run.
Nice.
You got to love that story, right? The other side of that kind of situation, did you see where Craig Kimbrell got signed by the Rays? So he had been cut by the Mets, and now the Rays, we can fix him. We can rebuild him.
We can determine where those pitches are going. Really, we can.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, you had something you were going to tell me today.
Yes,
Ryan.
was.
Well, you got time.
I had something.
You have time. What do we got going? What's going on in the? Contribute to the crosstalk. Bring it in hot. Boom.
So June 5th, I'm gonna go to Chicago to visit my mother, and we were going to go to the Field Museum, and Dave's phone is ringing right now.
No, that's just an alarm.
Sure, it is.
It's okay. It's just an alarm.
I love the default iPhone alarm here.
Yeah,
That's right. You heard that, huh?
Anyway, we're gonna go to the Field Museum, and at the Field Museum, they have a Pokemon fossil exhibit where they have like models of Pokemon fossils, which is really cool. And I thought, like, man, if I could like mix my vacation with like getting something for a game report, that would be amazing. My mom checked the tickets, sold out.
Oh,
yeah.
That's really a shame. I think this is a great crossover.
Yeah.
I mean, the Field Museum is such an awesome place to go anyway.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Some kids, I guess, you would have to convince to go, but I mean, a lot of, but
It's one of the best natural history museums in North America.
in the world, really.
but you're
I mean,
still
it's
going. You're
incredible,
still
yeah.
going, right?
I'm still going to
Yeah,
the
but
museum.
how cool would it be
Yeah.
to be able to, like, you don't want to go see dinosaur bones? Well, what about Pokemon?
Yeah.
I mean, but seriously, some kids would be all about that. I think it's a great crossover.
But the exhibition is going on until April of next year, so I could probably go back for the winter season.
Speaking of video game reports, how is your research advancing for your report on Grand Theft Auto 6?
What report? I honestly, nothing has happened with Grand Theft Auto 6.
You've heard of it though. Right?
Yes.
You've heard of it.
There have
a lot
been-
of a lot of the kids are really into the Grand Theft Auto 6.
There have been 2 trailers, I think. But honestly, like, the less excited you get about Grand Theft Auto 6, the better, because my God, if people have been waiting for so long, they're getting antsy, Dave. And when they get antsy, they start to get conspiratorial. And when they do that, they start doing like any social media thing that Rockstar Games does becomes a little Easter egg hunt to find like, oh, where's the secret message hinting at the release date for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Have you ever tried describing to someone what makes Grand Theft Auto so attractive and trying not to sound like an absolute criminal pervert?
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
it's very difficult.
So true.
And it is very difficult, but also it is very fun to play. I guess, I don't know.
Ryan had a great comment before the show today. We were talking about this. What if they just skipped 6?
Yeah.
What if they just skipped 6 and went to another number?
Yeah,
Now,
just-
people would lose their mind.
It's like a Leisure Suit Larry for a new generation is what Grand Theft Auto is.
I think that's a false comparison because how do I say this on the air without getting in trouble?
I just do it, man.
Okay.
Just say
I
it.
think Leisure Suit Larry is like primarily a pornographic experience.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
So-
Now I'm sorry you said it.
Yeah, I mean, how else am I going to talk about this series? But I do think GTA is a bit more nuanced than Leisure Suit Larry, which isn't saying much.
The popularity of many of the mods would suggest that it's popular for a lot of reasons.
It is. It is.
Coop, you sent me a great text about your daughter this weekend.
Oh yeah, my kid.
So she'll go to any length for chicken tenders, or as they say in the neighborhood, chicken tendies.
Yeah, chicken tendies. Shout out to my kid, by the way. She's home testing right now, so that's her.
Nice.
She's in a bunker, hunkering down on her test. But she's had a wiggly tooth for a few days. We didn't even know this one was wiggly. She just kind of randomly pointed at it. I think last weekend I was like, "This tooth is about ready to come out. It's kind of wiggly." All right, let us know if you need anything. Take care of it. But the problem was that she was having some trouble eating last week because the tooth was a little wiggly and it was in a weird place. So anything she really had to chew on, she was having problems with. Not that big of a deal until Friday comes around. I wanted to go out to eat, and we have our favorite barbecue place I wanted to go, which is her favorite chicken tenders place.
Okay.
This is Bowles Brothers over in up the creek.
Cool.
So I'm like, let's go over there, and she's like, I can't go. I can't eat the chicken tenders. I was like, you're going to have to get that tooth out because we're going over there, and you want to eat some chicken tenders. So she was very serious about this, and my wife taught her how to do like the folded up tissue to get like the little pocket.
Yeah.
And she like made the little pocket, reached in there and grabbed her tooth. It took her 3 times, but my goodness, on the 3rd try, she yanked got that thing, yanked it straight out of her face. And she's like, I can have chicken tenders now.
That's so good.
That was like her thing. She couldn't chew the chicken tenders unless she yanked her tooth out. So she went through the whole thing, yanked her tooth out. Good to go. We went and had chicken tenders, and she was happy as could be.
The whole process went along a little faster when you gave her the pliers.
Exactly. Right, exactly. I would always mess around. I would try to tie my tooth onto a string and put it on a door and slam it or something like when I was a kid. And I think the whole thing that my grandma tried to get me to do that stuff, and I think the whole point of that was just to get you to mess with your tooth.
Yeah.
You mess with it enough, and you're going to get it to come out anyway, trying to tie rope around it.
The doorknob and the string thing. Didn't the Three Stooges do that?
I don't know. I tried that 10 times when I was growing up. I don't know. It never worked. But the tooth came out, but just with me trying to put the thing around.
Hey, man, let me ask you, as a girl dad, did you see this story this weekend about Jason Williams? Jason Williams, the former guest on our show.
Yeah, what about he do?
Well, his daughter is like a star softball player for Texas Tech, and she went to Florida for a couple of years, and they had to play Florida in Gainesville in the regional finals this weekend, and there was some bad blood between the two teams.
Oh.
So Jason got in an incident after the first game where he was ejected from the game and was allowed to come back, but the pitcher who had plunked his daughter, the star, did not get to return. And over the course of the 3 games, his daughter was hit by pitches 5 times.
What in the world?
And then she hit the big home run yesterday that sent Texas Tech back to the college softball World Series. And I just want to ask you, as a girl dad, people are kind of throwing some shade on Jason Williams today, and he's made the news. How would you feel if your daughter was in some sort of an athletic competition and she was hit intentionally 5 times? How would you react to that?
I mean, after my wife reacted would be after my daughter reacted, which would be the first mistake you ever made if you would try that against her, because she would have none of it. But yeah, I mean, I get to where that comes from. If it's all in the matter of sport, that's one thing. But it almost seems to get a little personal and maybe taking a pot shot at her because her dad's famous. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have a problem with it.
So after Texas Tech clinched yesterday in Gainesville, Florida's players refused to get into the handshake line. So Texas Tech's players are out on the field celebrating and kind of taunting the Florida fans. And Jason Williams, who played 2 years for the Gators, is out there sarcastically doing the Gator chomp. It was some pretty good TV.
That's good stuff, though. That's all right.
That's pretty good.
I had no idea there's so much heat in softball, though.
Yeah. No, and we got Jeremie Stout coming on the show to talk about collectibles at 4:30. I wonder when Jay Will came back to town. Coop, I didn't even think to ask him about his daughter, the softball star.
Yeah.
I wonder how many questions he got. Besides talking about his DuPont days in the NBA and playing with Shaq and all that stuff, how many questions he got about his daughter, who's really a star for Texas Tech. But, yeah, I just wanted your take on that as a girl dad.
No, I get it. But seriously, Essie would stand up for herself, or she probably wouldn't have made the game.
That's probably true. Let's do the question of the day. Talking about kids. Question of the day is about kids. Kids in America now receive an average of $52 a month in allowance, which is $36 more than their parents earned at the same age when adjusted for inflation. A survey of 2,000 parents found 78% believe their kids handle money responsibly, with 61% saying their children are more fiscally responsible than they are themselves. 3/4 of parents provide monthly allowances, typically starting around age 10. So here's the question of the day. What did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid? And what did you spend your allowance money on? What did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid? And what did you spend your allowance money on? To respond, text those in. 304-TALK, 304-8255, 304. Tweet me. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY. Jeff Jenkins is here. So let me see. Looking at you, Jeff. You spent your allowance money on stuff like lawnmower engine oil.
No.
No.
I didn't receive allowance money.
Okay.
First of all,
You paid rent.
No, I was strongly urged to do things. I mean, around the house. Oh, and I'm sure I had a paper route when I was, beginning in the 7th grade. But
Which paper did you deliver, the
Daily
morning
Mail.
or the after?
Daily Mail.
Okay, you did the afternoon paper.
For 6 years. Yeah,
Okay.
for 6 years.
My grandmother gave me an allowance, but I worked for everything else. Like the money I had at home was money that I either did from doing chores or like legitimately mowing lawns or other little odd jobs or stuff I did. I mean, I always had money, but I earned that money.
I think we're going to get a lot of response to this. Jeff, what's up in the news? What's going on?
All right, so at the website, WVMetroNews.com, Omni has responded, Dave, right? And they said,
They've got lawyers too.
Wait a minute. We're not so sure. Who is this new financing agency for the Greenbrier? They have put some doubts out there, so we've got that story. Also, tragic early morning here in Charleston where a 15-year-old allegedly murdered a 17-year-old. 2 boys there. Charleston police are looking for the 15-year-old. And, Dave, we're also getting ready to post a story about the National Weather Service has put nearly the entire state under a flood watch for tomorrow. We're waterlogged, and it's going to rain heavy tomorrow.
Yeah, we're
in
talking
many
about
parts of the state.
Yeah, we're talking about the fact here where the state softball tournament is in South Charleston. The flood watch goes into effect at like 2 a.m. this morning and will last the entire day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay.
Let's take a break. We're coming back with more in a moment. Stay tuned.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind. I forgot
and
about
onions.
this. Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're going to have some lingering showers and thunderstorms out there and more developing on Wednesday. Pockets of heavy rainfall can't be ruled out with some of these thunderstorms, and then drying out as we get into Thursday afternoon, Friday, and also into this upcoming weekend. So improving weather later this week. But we do need the rain. We still have severe drought in that orange color, even extreme drought across the panhandle in that red coloring. These are the amounts of precipitation that we are below since January 1st. Parkersburg, 2 3/4 of an inch below average, and Charleston sitting at 5 1/3 inches below average since the beginning of the year. Over the next few days, again through midweek, we do expect to see a few pockets of maybe an inch of total rainfall. Again, these showers and thunderstorms will be moving through during the rest of our Tuesday, and then we'll have some additional showers and storms popping up on Wednesday as well. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Showers and thunderstorms in Atlanta. They need the rain, as well as D.C. It has been very dry in those particular areas, but as we head into the overnight hours from panhandle to panhandle, readings will be falling down into the 60s with more thunderstorms. Again, pockets of heavy rain at times on Wednesday. Davis will be at 60 degrees tomorrow morning. 62 degrees as we head a little farther east, and those daytime highs again approaching 80 degrees from some spots off to the east and also to the south near Moorfield and Petersburg. Sutton will be at 64 degrees, Spencer 64 overnight, and those daytime highs on Wednesday again into the mid 70s in Elkins. Logan at 67 degrees, Wayne 64, and daytime highs again approaching the upper 70s. Showers and thunderstorms fade later Thursday, drying out as we head into the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Stay connected to what's happening today in West Virginia.
What about this and what about that? And it just went back and forth. And I was just the guy reading the text. Okay, so what's your take on the whole thing?
Well, now you just get me fired up. Now you just
okay. So I'm gonna turn on. I'm gonna run down to Wendy's and grab a burger, and I'll be back.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television. The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 till the hour. Oh, look. Ryan Nicholson is back. You got a little breaking news?
Yes, I do.
All right, let's have it. What's the breaking news?
Well, today is my sister's wedding anniversary. So congratulations to Kathleen and Sam.
That's your breaking news?
Yeah.
That one of your relatives is having a wedding?
My sister, yes. One of your relatives.
How long she been married?
I don't know. A few years now.
All right. Well, that's good news.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Hey, by the way, you didn't get a chance to talk about your allowance.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah. So
I don't think I had an allowance.
You said you wanted to talk about your allowance.
I also said I had breaking traffic news, Dave.
Coop, I'm glad we didn't waste. I'm glad we didn't waste the breaking news sounder.
Yeah, I knew better.
Oh, you knew? Did you know it was coming?
I didn't know that he was going to say it was breaking news, so I put two and two together.
Yeah, here's the thing. Breaking.
Man, wait a minute. As my executive producer, aren't you supposed to block that? Things like this.
I didn't say to Coop that it was breaking news. I said to you that it was breaking news.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because here's a little inside baseball for the show.
Okay.
If you ever want to get on the air, no questions asked. Just tell Dave it's breaking news.
Breaking news,
and he will jump right at it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is a good point.
Yes,
that if breaking news does kind of get on this show. Any other breaking news? You have any other anniversaries of some of your relatives that you'd like to maybe discuss now? Or
no?
Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm just glad he felt like he needed to come in here and inject this in the beginning of the segment. He doesn't even know what number it is. Like, how long have you been married? I don't know. They've got some years, 1, 7, 12, I don't know. Somewhere.
Time's a circle, man. It doesn't even matter. Well, that's outstanding.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, maybe. Oh, Coop. We're going to get into the sound of sports here in a minute, but today's quite an anniversary in the world of baseball.
You mean other than Ryan's nuptials?
Oh, yeah. If he's got any more updates on his sister, just let him come on out here. So today, May 26, 1993, at the old baseball stadium in Cleveland, this happened.
Well, you say that, and it should be really great. Oh, there we go. Okay, good.
On May 23rd, May 26, 1993, at the old baseball stadium, Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, this happened.
High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track, looking up. It is off his head, it looked like. And over the top, a home run. That looked like it hit Canseco to the top of the head. We'll have to check the replay. Oh, it did.
Off his head.
Now, I've got to say,
must hit something funny.
Is there anybody, and Canseco at this point in his career had already sort of become a bit of a joke.
Yeah, right.
A little bit. But is there anybody that could have suffered the aftermath in the moment? Maybe not in the media afterwards, but in the moment, is there anybody that could have suffered that aftermath and looked so cool with it?
Yeah,
and he was like just chewing gum and walking back and just kind of swaggering around, like, his head off my head.
Yeah, why am I even here?
Not thinking that it would be memeified. Like, that was like one of the original sports memes, like, that's amazing.
Seriously, though, how many times would you have to hit a ball, a fungo bat, fly ball to right that would hit off a guy's head and deflect perfectly over the wall for a home run?
I guess it depends on how often it was Canseco out there. But.
Yeah, but I mean, his head had to be so hard, and to hit his head at the exact angle to, like, jet that ball over the wall.
I swear, I said something about this one time. I used to talk to Canseco sometimes on the old Twitter, and I said something to him about this catch one time I meant it to be a compliment, and I think he got mad at me, and it ruined my chance to ever get him on the show.
What was Canseco's first wife's name? Remember?
I don't know. Jose?
No. She didn't marry anybody named Jose.
Himself?
I can't remember. I can't remember. But that was May 26, 1993. Carlos Martinez, and he doesn't get enough credit, right? He got credit for the home run, but I mean, he hit a perfect fly ball to right that hit Canseco right on the noggin and like bounded out over the right field fence.
It's just amazing because everything had to be in perfect concert. I mean, he's falling when it hits him. It's not even a clean, like it wasn't going to be a clean catch anyway, even if he made it. He's kind of falling down. It misses his glove and then just hits him right on top of the head. Doink! And then, woo, straight up.
Hey, you know what? And the announcers really handled that well.
They did.
I mean, if I'm sitting in the booth and I'm seeing that happen, I'm like, did that really happen? I mean, think about all the times you'll hear an announcer say a ball's going out for a home run and it's actually just like a fly ball to the track.
Yeah.
And how many times would you actually see a ball hit a guy perfectly on the top of the head and then bounce over the right field wall? Props to him. That was a good call.
It was a good call, and it had enough of quizzical humor in it where the moment didn't get by.
Hey, play that again. Play that again. I want let's critique the call on this because that was a really good call. Here it is.
Here we go.
High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track, looking up. It is off his head, it looked like, and over the top. A home run. That looked like it hit Canseco over the top of the head. We'll have to check the replay. It did. It went over the fence. David Hull's laughing out there, so it must hit something funny.
That was perfectly called.
Yeah, he is, man.
Hey, you know
great
what else,
call.
You know what else helps there? The fireworks.
Oh, yeah, right. Kind of sets it off.
Do you only get fireworks if it goes off your head?
I don't know, man.
No.
I don't know. I tell you, though, Jose looks just so suave in making that blunder.
That's so true. It is so true. Well, you know what? We've talked about this long enough that I think we're going to have to do the Sound of Sports in the next segment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you know what, though? Let me get a couple of responses to our question of the day about allowances.
Okay.
Because here we go. Kids get an average of $52 a month in allowance, according to a new survey, which is $36 more than their parents earned at the same time when adjusted for inflation. So the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law, what did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid, and what did you spend your allowance money on? What did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid? And what did you spend your allowance money on? To respond, text those in. 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Cara's in the hashtag 180 Club. She says, hey, Dave, my brother, my sister, nor I received allowances. Our parents taught us, quote, you live here too, unquote. That may be your room, but it's in our house on their property, and you were to keep it clean without expectation of reward. I didn't get it then, but I'm so grateful that I do now. Hashtag 180 Club. Carr, what a nice note.
Yeah.
What a nice note. Here's the Toddster on X. He says, Dave, I didn't have an allowance. I had to cut grass for people at a young age to make money. I also sold night crawlers and paid my way to the beach in 1989. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty good. Here's Tony Ray on X. He says, hey, Dave, I mowed lawns in Lakeland Terrace. Well, he's starting to get back into my my old Harrison County Bridgeport stomping grounds there with nice reference to Lakeland Terrace. Appreciate that. That's nice. Here's Jennings on X. He says, Dave, did some mowing between my parents and my grandfather's yards. Usually spent my allowance on meals from McDonald's after school. The money I made then wouldn't cover a value meal from there today. Yeah, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. We have a bunch of responses on this. Oh, one question about your daughter's tooth, Coop.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
681-474. Hey, Dave, did Essie try to bite an apple to get that tooth out? That worked for me twice when I was a kid. Yeah, that's a pretty common idea.
The entire week leading up to Saturday, there was all kinds of ideas like this floated. Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Stick this in there and just stick a piece of an apple onto the tooth and pull it out. It will come out, honey. It will be super easy. And she loves apples. It seems like it should be easy. And she was reluctant to do all of them until she just needed that chicken tender. And the moment she wanted to go to the restaurant and have those chicken tenders, she's like, that tooth's got to come out.
Does she call them tendies?
No, she just calls them chicken tenders.
That's very adult.
Yeah.
It's very adult of her. Let's take a break. We'll come back and get into the Sound of Sports. Stay tuned.
MetroNews Hotline, brought to you by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's
me too.
a great point. Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Today.
All right, welcome back. 13 till the hour. Let's go ahead and jump into the sound of sports, and we'll start with college baseball. WV is going to be hosting an NCAA tournament regional starting on Friday. After finishing as the runner-up in the Big 12 tournament in Arizona over the weekend, Mountaineer coach Steve Sabins is turning his attention to the NCAAs.
To be able to bring an event like this here is meaningful to me, and I'm just really proud of the staff and the players and my family and everybody that's going to get to experience high-level college baseball. There'll be great opponents. The atmosphere in Morgantown is really hard to beat. I know that tickets will be extremely hard to come by, and we will pack as many people in that place as the fire marshal allows.
All right, WV is going to play Binghamton. Second-seeded Wake Forest and third-seeded Kentucky will play in the first game in Morgantown on Friday at noon in this double elimination event. WVU slugger Gavin Kelly says this year's team's experience in NCAA tournament play should pay dividends next weekend.
I mean, we have a bunch of guys that have been there before that know what it takes to get there and know what it also feels to lose while you're there. So it's a special group, especially having people like Brody Crisper around who has been there twice and understands what it takes, but also knows what it feels like to lose. So I'd say it's a unique feeling.
Locally, the Dirty Birds are off on Memorial Day after losing 12-3 to Gastonia here in Charleston on Sunday. The homestand continues tonight as the Dirty Birds open a 3-game set against High Point. From the majors in Pittsburgh, Bucks catcher Henry Davis drilled a solo homer in the 7th to snap a 1-all tie, and the Pirates went on for a 2-1 win over the Cubs in the opener of a 4-game set.
Henry Davis is coming to bat, and he's 0 for 2 today. Tried to bunt his last time around. Popped it up to the pitcher, Brown, who made a diving catch.
Right to left field. Henry Davis says, take that bunt. Oh, Henry, a no-doubter. He clears the deck with his 4th, and it's 2-1 Pittsburgh.
Who needs a bunt when you can do that? An impressive blast to Henry Davis. Got to make him feel really good.
The Cubs have now lost 9 straight. The Pirates are 3-1 against the Cubs so far this season. It's game 2 of the series tonight. Braxton Ashcraft takes the mound for the Pirates. Here's Buck skipper Don Kelly on Henry Davis's big home run on Memorial Day.
Great to see him be rewarded, and in a huge moment to hit that home run there. He's worked extremely hard, to get his swing to a much better place, and unfortunately he hasn't had the success in results, but the approach, the process has been so good, and it's really great to see him have a moment like that in such a big situation.
Meanwhile, in New York, the Reds topped the Mets 7-2. Nick Lodolo won for the first time in 4 starts. After returning from a blister, Lodolo allowed just 1 run and 6 hits with 7 strikeouts and no walks as he worked 6 strong innings.
In the air, center field, done and in a hurry, and he'll make the catch on that sinking line drive toward right center field off Nick Morabito's bat. Inning over, a home run from Marcus Semien gets the Mets on the board, but Lodolo's through 6 innings of 1-run baseball.
All right, so the Reds have won 4 of 5. The Mets have lost 4 straight. The Mets didn't have Juan Soto yesterday. Outfielder Tyrone Taylor left with a right hip pain after grounding out in the 6th. The Mets are currently missing Francisco Lindor, Francisco Alvarez, Luis Robert Jr., and Jorge Polanco. The Reds will turn to right-hander Chase Burns tonight against the Mets lefty David Peterson. Here's Reds manager Terry Francona on Lodolo's strong effort on the mound.
Yeah,
yesterday.
other than he hit their leadoff guy with 2 breaking balls that almost were behind him. But other than that, he worked ahead. He threw a lot of strikes. He spun it. He had good velocity. Threw some changeups. That was really welcome.
All right, in Baltimore, the O's' Colton Cowser did it again. His 2-run game-winning homer in the 13th inning at Camden Yards was his 2nd walk-off blast in as many days as the O's knocked off the AL East leading Tampa Bay Rays 9-7.
This is just crazy. Well, once again, Colton Cowser, chance with a walk-off. Back-to-back days. Base hit to win the game. Fly ball, Colton Cowser. Deep right center. Mullins back at the wall. He did it again. Back-to-back days. Walk-off home runs for Cowser. 8. The milk cold.
A 2-time holiday hero. He walks it off again. A 2-run bomb. 9-7 your final score at the end of 13.
Cowser's homer was just his 3rd of the year. This series continues tonight in Baltimore. Shane Boz goes for the Birds. Here's Cowser on hitting his game-winning walk-off home run against the Rays.
Honestly, probably one of my favorite wins as an Oriole. Back and forth, just always in the fight. Really proud of our guys for just keep showing up, keep grinding, and felt like we were 1 hit away there for about 4 innings. So really proud of our guys. Bullpen, hell of a job. Bradish, great start. Felt like it was about 4 hours ago. So.
Cowser is Baltimore's first player to hit a walk-off homer on consecutive days since Fred Lynn in May of 1985. And in Cleveland, the Nats brought their bats to the yard. Washington hit 6 homers combined in a 10-2 win over the Guardians. Curtis Mead went deep twice for his first multi-homer game of his career. For the Aussie, his 2nd homer came in the 5th.
Here's Curtis Mead. Mead hit the Nationals' 2nd of the 5 home runs.
Crushed out to left. Did Curtis Mead do it again? Yes, he did. 2 homers on the night for Mead. 7 on the season. He's got 20 RBI on the year. And the Nats have 6 homers through the first 5 innings.
All right, the Nationals' right-hander Cade Cavalli goes tonight against the Guardians' Joey Castano in the second game of this series. At Marshall today, the Herd introduced its first-ever head coach in stunt, Evan Richard.
I'm just so excited to be here and so excited to start something new here. We have a unique opportunity to be the first, not just the first college program in West Virginia to add the sport of stunt, but the first to start stunt in the state of West Virginia across all levels, high school, junior high, club. And we have this opportunity to help it grow, to help provide opportunities for these young athletes who maybe start their journey in cheerleading and gymnastics and wonder what's there for me in the future.
In the NBA playoffs in Cleveland, the Cavs season came to an end last night. Knicks completed a 4-game sweep of the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals, win 130-93. Karl Anthony Towns led the way for New York. Cat had 19 points and 14 boards.
And Proctor will just dribble it out. Chance of let's go Knicks. It's over. Believe it, Knicks fans, for the first time in 27 years, the New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. The dream season continues, and hopes of ending a decades-long championship drought are very much alive.
All right, so all but one of the Knicks' wins in this series were by double digits with an average margin of victory of nearly 24 points. Let's take a break. We'll wrap up hour number 1 in a moment.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
5, 3. For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop.
I would imagine a group of you got together and watched the Mountaineers last night. What were your thoughts on that performance?
It was funny, we were sitting with a guy last night, and he said, all right, I'm going to go put $1,000 on it. Well, down the stretch of that ball game, he's looking at us like, are you kidding me? And sure enough, the Mountaineers came back. I saw him today. He said, yep, I'm putting another $1,000 on them tomorrow.
Sportsline on MetroNews Television.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Fighting blindness.
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour of the show. We'll take a break for news here at the top. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on in the financial markets. The NASDAQ is up. The Dow has turned negative here within the last 90 minutes or so. We'll take a look at the final numbers, get a look at some West Virginia-related stocks, check the energy prices, crypto too. We do that every day at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. We'll reset our question of the day about allowances. What did you have to do for your allowance when you were a kid, and what did you do with the money? Also, we'll talk some Steeler football. That'll be coming up right after the top of the hour. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're going to have some lingering showers and thunderstorms out there and more developing on Wednesday. Pockets of heavy rainfall can't be ruled out with some of these thunderstorms, and then drying out as we get into Thursday afternoon, Friday, and also into this upcoming weekend. So improving weather later this week. But we do need the rain. We still have severe drought in that orange color, even extreme drought across the panhandle in that red coloring. These are the amounts of precipitation that we are below since January 1st. Parkersburg, 2 3/4 of an inch below average, and Charleston sitting at 5 1/3 inches below average since the beginning of the year. Over the next few days, again through midweek, we do expect to see a few pockets of maybe an inch of total rainfall. Again, these showers and thunderstorms will be moving through during the rest of our Tuesday, and then we'll have some additional showers and storms popping up on Wednesday as well. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Showers and thunderstorms in Atlanta. They need the rain, as well as D.C. It has been very dry in those particular areas, but as we head into the overnight hours from panhandle to panhandle, readings will be falling down into the 60s with more thunderstorms. Again, pockets of heavy rain at times on Wednesday. Davis will be at 60 degrees tomorrow morning. 62 degrees as we head a little farther east, and those daytime highs again approaching 80 degrees from some spots off to the east and also to the south near Moorfield and Petersburg. Sutton will be at 64 degrees, Spencer 64 overnight, and those daytime highs on Wednesday again into the mid 70s in Elkins. Logan at 67 degrees, Wayne 64, and daytime highs again approaching the upper 70s. Showers and thunderstorms fade later Thursday, drying out as we head into the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law. MetroNews Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for MetroNews Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hour number 2, how do you do? Metro News Hotline, keeping you company here in West Virginia every weekday afternoon, beginning at 3:06 and taking through the afternoon right up until 6 o'clock. And wherever you're listening to the show today, folks, inside the state or beyond the borders, just trying to get a read on what's going on back home, we hope you're having a good day. We're doing okay here in Charleston. Thanks for asking. About 72 degrees here at 1111 Virginia Street East, a couple blocks down from Charleston Catholic High School on Virginia Street, just a few blocks away from Gomart Ballpark where the Dirty Birds will be playing, and just a few blocks away from UC Stadium, Adelaide Field, where the track and field championships for West Virginia high schools took place over the weekend. Speaking of high schools, don't forget, Metro News is your home for the West Virginia softball tournament that begins. Man, there's a ton of action. It all starts tomorrow with AA play at Little Creek Park in South Charleston. Hey, Huntington Bank Money Minutes. We have that this week. Get beyond the headlines. Thursday at 3:45 on Metro News Hotline. Join Matt Harris, Shelley Hustle, and the team over there for Money Minutes from Huntington Bank. Portfolio managers deliver market analysis, examine the trends behind the scenes, and provide insightful commentary to help your investments work for you. Real expertise, real answers. Money Minutes from Huntington Bank, Thursday at 3:45, only on Metro News Hotline. We'll take a quick peek at what happened in the financial markets today, reset our question of the day about your allowance when you were growing up. Dave Bryan from Steeler Depot will be here. I got some stuff I want to talk to him about regarding the NFL, so we'll get into that a little bit later on in this half hour. We've got the entertainment report. Jeremie Stout, Select Cards and Collectibles, will be here in less than a half an hour. So if you've got questions about your collectibles, your sports collectibles, stuff you're thinking about buying, maybe some stuff you want to sell. How do you protect it? How much insurance do you need? Any questions or comments about the hobby in general? We'll take those. The text line here is 304 talk 304-825-5304. So send those in. And by the way, a couple of questions that came in late the last time we had Jeremy on the program. I have those. We'll get those answered. That'll be at 4:33 today. Also, a little bit later on in the hour, we'll open up the On the State file at around 4:50. Have the 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports. And one of the big stories today that we haven't talked about, we'll be talking about in detail at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. The Penguins making some news today. They have signed veteran Evgeny Malkin to a 1-year contract, so he'll be back. He'll be 40 years old. He's turning 40 in July. He'll be back for at least one more ride with Sidney Crosby and company. So what's the impact of that as the Stanley Cup playoffs continue? The Penguins made it back to the playoffs this year, but they were first-round losers. Alex Wiederspiel, our MetroNews hockey insider, will join me in an hour to kick that around. But that is a story that's breaking today that Malkin, Gino Machino, will be back for at least one more season. All right, let's go ahead and get into what happened today in the financial markets. So, a lot of chatter over the weekend about the possibility of an extended ceasefire between the United States and Iran. You know, that story's been all over the map the last few hours. In any case, the Dow ended down on the day, but not much, just down 0.2%, losing 118 points. The Dow ending the day north of 50,000 at 50,461. S&P 500 was up 0.6%, gaining 45 points today, 75.19 at the close. NASDAQ was up 1.2%, tacked on 312 points, closing at 26,656. Among stocks of local interest to West Virginia, there were big percentage gainers or losers today. Caterpillar up 3.1%, gained a little more than $27 a share, closing at $907.41 at the close today. DuPont also up 2.9%, tacked on $1.40, $49.52 at the close today. CSX up 2.5%, added $1.11, $46.63 at the close today. Nucor up 3.5%, added $8.24, $240.24 at the close on Nucor. In the energy space today, oil down 3%. When it looked like a possible end to the conflict may have been imminent, the futures were down farther, but they did end down 3% on oil today, dropping $2.96. WTI on the NYMEX closed at $93.64. Natural gas currently down 1 cent, $2.89 per unit. And in the crypto space, Bitcoin down 1.6% today, losing a little more than $1,200. A coin going for $75,985. Here is our question of the day. Question of the day, kids get an average of $52 a month in allowance, which is $36 more than their parents earned at the same time when adjusted for inflation. So here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. What did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid, and what did you spend your allowance money on? What did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid, and what did you spend your allowance money on? You know the text line, 304-TALK, 304-825-5304. I'm on X for now at Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Anthony in Clarksburg, always a good answer to our question today. Hey, Dave, I mowed grass and helped both my parents with their small businesses. When I was 14 years old, I bought my late uncle's 1985 Jeep from my aunt and taught myself to drive the 5-speed on the farm. Hey, that's a good story. That is a good story, Anthony. Let me get a couple of quick text messages in here. Here's one from Bill in Nitro. He goes, hey, Dave and Coop, never received an allowance, so I mowed grass and had paper routes to earn money. I used it for clothes, shoes, and food. Loved doing it. It made me feel all grown up. That's Bill in Nitro. So we want your stories. We want your stories about your allowance and stories about what you did with your allowance money. All right. Coop, Dave Bryan, last week we interrupted one of his dental visits.
Yeah, that's on me. That's
is he with us today? Let's get him on here after we hear the song. All right, Dave Bryan joins us to talk about the Steelers. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, happy Tuesday. I'm alive and well after a root canal last week. So I appreciate you allowing the great Alex Kozora to sit in for me last week. I'm glad to have that behind me, and I'm feeling a lot better. And a quick PG version of your question of the day there. I mowed a lot of grass so I could buy some other grass.
Nice. Oh, that's a good story. Oh, man, I'm looking at the Steeler Depot, and you always have so many great stories. And one of the things I love about your site is no matter whether we're in season or off season, there's tons of Steeler content there. I love this story about Calvin Austin claiming that he was the guy who got John Harbaugh fired. Explain that.
Yeah, if you go back and if you remember last year against the Ravens there, that late touchdown, who was it? Aaron Rodgers to Calvin Austin down the left-hand side of the field. Yeah, I think logically Austin takes that as his late touchdown to help eliminate Baltimore from postseason. Ultimately cost John Harbaugh his job. Now look, you did have the title loop missed field goal in there, obviously, that played a part in there. But long story short, everybody knows that Calvin Austin now is a member of the New York Giants. He signed with them during the offseason, and he's kind of come full circle, if you will, because obviously John Harbaugh is the head coach of the New York Football Giants now. So it's kind of weird how that played out there. But yeah, it if you want to take a long-term view on it and how key that late touchdown was to Calvin Austin, it effectively eliminated the Ravens from the playoffs there and ultimately cost John Harbaugh his job.
I got to tell you, man, I always liked Calvin Austin. I mean, he was a very competent pro. Are the Steelers going to miss him?
I'll tell you what I will miss is he was such a good kid. He was such a good interview. And, whether or not it was being interviewed by media locally or the Steelers, or if he'd go back home to Memphis and he'd jump on the radio with a couple of their, sports channels and all like that. He was always a great interview, and he seemed like he was a good presence in the locker room. Look, did his career go as a lot of people had hoped? He missed time early on in his career with that foot injury and all like that. I think they will miss Calvin. And look, you go back to what Aaron Rodgers loved Calvin Austin. He said several times last year that Calvin Austin was such a good, sweet kid, as he put it there. So I think there will be certain aspects of Calvin Austin that this team will miss, probably most notably in the locker room and all. But, his play on the field and his stats that he put up overall, I think that's where they hope a guy like Jeremie Bernard can easily erase the memory of what this team might be losing on the field in a guy like Calvin Austin III.
I agree with that, but also I think the Steelers' wide receiver room is markedly better. Don't you? Would you? At least on paper, it looks like it's much stronger than it was last year.
Yeah, and I think you could say over the last couple years, right? I mean, obviously since before this team got DK Metcalf, they only had one real legitimate wide receiver in George Pickens, and then they obviously traded him away, and in comes DK Metcalf. But they've had problems getting that number two across from whoever their number one has been. And boy, they tried a lot of different vets over the course of the last 2 or 3 years or so, and those just haven't worked out well. This team went out now, obviously, this offseason and traded for Michael Pittman Jr., who's got a nice resume in the NFL underneath his belt at this time. So I think that makes them marginally better just from a 1 and 2 standpoint. And then you throw in a guy like Jeremie Bernard, and we'll see what happens with Roman Wilson. He's yet to come in his own at this point. And, you got Ben Skoranek, who's more of a, role player, if you will, special teams aspect. It will be interesting to see if this team maybe after the mandatory minicamp maybe scours the what's left out there in free agency for maybe another kind of role player, if you will, and especially if Roman Wilson, if the arrow doesn't start pointing up on him. But I think just right now, just looking at top to bottom, and even though Jeremie Bernard hasn't caught a single pass in the NFL yet, I think you have to agree, especially compared to the last couple seasons, that at this point of the offseason that this is this is the best wide receiver group, at least the top of it, that this team has had once again in several years.
Talking Steeler football with Dave Bryan from Steeler Depot. You know what? Jerry Dulac in the Post-Gazette yesterday had an article about Will Howard. And, man, there's so many questions about him, right? He was talking after one of the OTA sessions about how many different offenses he's been in. And that's really true when you think about, his last year at K-State, and then when he won a national championship at Ohio State, and then when he was injured last year as a rookie, and now they've changed coaches and they changed OCs. I mean, he's been through a lot in terms of offensive changes. Here's the question. A lot of people think that he's really stepped forward. The proof's in the pudding. We'll have to see how he does when we get on the field. But what are we looking at here? I mean, if he is really impressive in the preseason, are we looking possibly as Howard as the backup? Could he be the number 4 on this team? Could he be cut from the team? What do you think is going to happen with Will Howard?
All right, you got a lot of questions there, and I'll kind of circle through them real quick here. First and foremost, at least last week in OTAs, they had Will Howard running as a number 2 quarterback ahead of Mason Rudolph. We'll see how much longer that stands up through the rest of the offseason. Personally, when you ask about Will Howard make this 53-man roster, I know a lot of people say, they probably need to go with Mason Rudolph as the backup, and obviously they're going to keep Drew Aller. That would leave Will Howard as the odd man out. I don't think that's going to happen. I think, assuming all 4 of these guys stay healthy through the offseason, I expect them to try to potentially trade Mason Rudolph near the final cut down mark there. Now, going into this preseason, one of the biggest tragedies about last season as a whole was the fact that you go all the way back to the preseason. We did not get to see Will Howard take a single snap during the preseason because of the timing of that hand injury that he had during training camp. And man, would it be nice at this point just to have at least some tape of him in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, which obviously we haven't had up until this date. Now, look, you have Drew Aller coming in as a 3rd-round draft pick. Will Howard obviously was a 6th-round draft pick. I would imagine, I'm looking way, way too far ahead because obviously a lot of things can happen right now. Let's assume Will Howard does get the backup job come week 1, and then we see how it goes from there. Obviously, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get injured, there's probably not going to be much, if any, playing time for Will Howard. And when you look at 6th-round draft picks, especially at the quarterback position over the years, when and if those guys ultimately get a chance to get on the field and start maybe 1, 2, or 3 games, the window of opportunity is so small that those guys have got to take advantage of it. Yeah, I know the story about Tom Brady, but I mean, if Drew Bledsoe never gets hurt, would we even know what Tom Brady could potentially become? And then you look at Brock Purdy, who was a 7th-round draft pick for the 49ers. Injuries played a big role in him ultimately seeing the field, and he obviously right out of the chute took advantage of that. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is I personally think Will Howard will make this team. I think he'll make this team as the backup to Aaron Rodgers going into the season, assuming, he stays healthy and all. And should he ultimately get a chance to get on the field, they're not, he's got to show a lot right out of the chute. Because they do have a 3rd-round pick in Drew Aller, who I think is going to need a little seasoning throughout his rookie year. And if things don't go well for Will Howard in any type of playing time he might get in 2026, you'd have to imagine that Drew Aller would be potentially be in the running to be the starter for this team next offseason there. So I think Howard makes this team, and I think he makes it as the backup, at least as we sit here as May comes to a close.
Just 1 minute, so I wanted to ask you about Mason Rudolph. Is it fair to assume that Rudolph's value here is probably no more than a 5th-round pick?
I would think, yeah, at most. I think it could potentially, now look, injuries around the league from now throughout training camp and preseason will help iron that out a little bit more as far as what his value might be, especially to a team that might be looking for either a starter or a real reliable backup for whatever reason there. But I do think 5th would be about the best. I think realistically you might be looking at a 6th-round pick, or you could see one of those trades that team gives you a 6 and you swap them a 7th or something like that. So 5th, in my opinion, would be the best possible scenario the Steelers could get for Mason Rudolph. But necessity and injuries might end up maybe sliding that to a 4th for whatever reason.
All right, got to leave it there. Hey, Dave, glad your dentist appointment worked out well. You're back with us, so we'll talk more Steeler football next week at this time. Have a great week.
All right, let's do it. I'll brush my teeth and make sure I take care of them this week. All right, have a good week.
Sounds good. Coop, did you see that clip with Bryce Harper where he puts toothpaste in his mouth before he starts to brush?
No, I didn't see
Pretty
that.
crazy, man.
So you put the toothpaste in
and then brush.
Well, I recently started doing my grilled cheese by melting the butter in the pan and then putting my bread in instead of putting the butter on the bread and putting it in. So I guess it's kind of the same.
Let's take a break. We'll have the entertainment report next.
Hi, I'm Lane Tobin and I'm a project consultant with Civil and Environmental Consultants. Growing up in West Virginia, I always dreamed of giving back to my community. That's why I chose CEC. As an employee-owned firm, we combine big company support with a close-knit culture. From stormwater management to new pedestrian trails, with every project, I see the impact we're making and I couldn't be prouder. CEC isn't just where I work, it's where I make a difference. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
The stock market, economy, tariffs, interest rates. We hear a lot about these topics. But what does it all mean for you as you plan for your future? Join us on Thursday for Money Minutes at 3:45 on Hotline as Huntington Bank's local wealth team cuts through the noise and shares how market conditions are impacting us right here in West Virginia. I'm Matt Harris, a member of the local Huntington Bank wealth team. I invite you to catch Money Minutes Thursday on Hotline for insight that will help you navigate your financial future.
Don't forget about our podcast. Check out your favorite podcast provider or simply go to wvmetronews.com and click on the podcast link. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it. So I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
All right, talking TV and more. Tonight on the broadcast nets, man, a lot of repeats. ABC, 3 straight hours of R.J. Decker, all repeats. CBS, NCIS, all night, all repeats. NBC, though, has NBA basketball. All right, they've got the Spurs and the Thunder tonight. Pretty big game in the Western Conference Finals. And there's a new episode of Farmer Wants a Wife on Fox at 8 o'clock. We'll take a break, come back with more in just a moment. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're going to have some lingering showers and thunderstorms out there and more developing on Wednesday. Pockets of heavy rainfall can't be ruled out with some of these thunderstorms, and then drying out as we get into Thursday afternoon, Friday, and also into this upcoming weekend. So improving weather later this week. But we do need the rain. We still have severe drought in that orange color, even extreme drought across the panhandle in that red coloring. These are the amounts of precipitation that we are below since January 1st. Parkersburg, 2 3/4 of an inch below average, and Charleston sitting at 5 1/3 inches below average since the beginning of the year. Over the next few days, again through midweek, we do expect to see a few pockets of maybe an inch of total rainfall. Again, these showers and thunderstorms will be moving through during the rest of our Tuesday, and then we'll have some additional showers and storms popping up on Wednesday as well. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Showers and thunderstorms in Atlanta. They need the rain, as well as D.C. It has been very dry in those particular areas, but as we head into the overnight hours from panhandle to panhandle, readings will be falling down into the 60s with more thunderstorms. Again, pockets of heavy rain at times on Wednesday. Davis will be at 60 degrees tomorrow morning. 62 degrees as we head a little farther east, and those daytime highs again approaching 80 degrees from some spots off to the east and also to the south near Moorfield and Petersburg. Sutton will be at 64 degrees, Spencer 64 overnight, and those daytime highs on Wednesday again into the mid 70s in Elkins. Logan at 67 degrees, Wayne 64, and daytime highs again approaching the upper 70s. Showers and thunderstorms fade later Thursday, drying out as we head into the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Stay connected to what's happening today in West Virginia.
What about this and what about that? And it just went back and forth. And I was just the guy reading the text. Okay, so what's your take on the whole thing?
Well, now you just get me fired up. Now you just
so I'm gonna turn on. I'm gonna run down to Wendy's and grab a burger, and I'll be back.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television. The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
oh, yeah.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 26 minutes till the hour. Jeremie Stout's going to join me here in just a sec to talk about sports collectibles. So we'll get into that in just a minute. But, Coop, I was thrown off by a question from a listener on the text line just a few minutes ago. 304-282. Dave, are there more rabbits this year compared to normal? What do you think the answer to that is? First of all, I'm very proud that this listener decided to come to our show for that information.
Yeah, that's true. What, man, I don't know. What is, I don't know what the answer is.
The answer is actually yes.
Really?
The answer is actually yes. According to the West Virginia Division of Natural Resources, eastern cottontail rabbits begin producing multiple large litters as early as March and continue right through the summer. By late spring and early summer, and that's where we are now, those first round of kits are leaving the nest to forage. Combined with warmer weather and lush spring vegetation, their visibility skyrockets, making it feel like suddenly they are taking over local backyards and fields. So the answer to that is yes.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah. The other part of this that's kind of crazy is that did you know that rabbits,
What's up, Doc?
according to the Division of Natural Resources, are on an 8 to 10 year population cycle? It's a boom or bust cycle. The WVDNR biologists note that rabbits and hare populations in the state follow a predictable 8 to 10 year boom and bust cycle. When habitat conditions are right and predator pressures shift, the population hits a multi-year upswing, resulting in a temporary population surge before naturally leveling off again.
I feel like if we needed to give this question the full service, we probably should have brought in Chris Lawrence to comment on this.
By the way, if he's listening now, he just drove right off the side of the road. So we're here for your questions about the rabbit population.
There we go. I'm sure that he knows like some rabbit scientist somewhere that could give us some definitive answers.
Jeremie Stout from Select Cards and Collectibles is going to have to try to follow that story. Jeremie, how you doing today?
Great, Dave. How are you?
I'm fine. Hey, man, before we get down to the business of sports collectibles, congratulations. I haven't talked to you on the air since this happened. Congratulations on your new job as the head football coach at South Charleston Junior High School.
Thank you. It's middle school, but yeah.
Middle school.
South Charleston Middle School now. You're showing your age, Dave.
I know, and you're showing that you know how to take your role seriously by taking just a lowly journalist by me and just throwing me against the wall and telling me what's what. So what do you think, man? That's going to be a lot of fun for you.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, I've been on the staff for a few years and coached football for years. I kind of wish Keaton had another year to play for me, but he'll be moving on to the high school. But we have a great group of kids back, and I think it'll be a fun season. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, man, I know you'll do a great job there. All right, collectibles. I wanted to ask you about the Knicks, okay? People are talking about the Knicks. They are now waiting to see who they're going to play in the NBA Finals. Outside of Jalen Brunson, are there any collectible players on the Knicks?
I mean, people still like Cat. He's a UK guy. So people like him. He has, we talk about New York being a big market area all the time. So there's been a little increased interest in Hart. I guess that might be the main three that people are looking for right now. But the Knicks are fun. I'm a Knicks fan. So NBA basketball is more fun now than it's been in a long time. That's for sure.
By the way, Coop, we do have a note from Chris Lawrence about our rabbit report. Let me just open this up really quickly here. Yeah, he's Dave, everything wants to eat a rabbit. Therefore, you have a lot of rabbits because there's a lot of things that like to eat. So there you go. He's weighed in on the rabbit topic. Hey, has anybody ever come into the store and said, "Listen, I want a Deuce McBride rookie card"?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Okay.
I mean, with him being a WVU guy, he's popular around here. You know, I don't know if he's popular in the big grand scheme of things, but around here, people have always wanted Deuce, and I'm sure that this will cause a little bit of an uptick. You know, he had a decent game last night. Would he go 3 for 5? I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, the people definitely are wanting Deuce stuff right now.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I think his minutes in the Knicks rotation have dropped, and that probably has a little bit to do with the fact he was injured in the second part of the season. We'll see what happens when we get into the finals now, because I mean they're literally in the finals, so we'll see what happens. Hey, I wanted to ask you about the Kyle Busch situation, and you've been in this hobby for a long time, and tragedies occur in all sports. So how does this play out in the collectible market? Does when a tragedy like this occurs, does that victim's their stuff suddenly go up? Or take me through the cycle of this.
Yeah, it always does. I mean, anytime that someone passes away like this, especially, you know, maybe not in a tragic thing like in an accident or something like that, but just an unexpected death like this at a young age, it kind of catches people, I don't want to say off guard,
sure.
but not really something you expect. So people start to scramble. So I'm sure that day or later the next day, people started to scramble for his autographs in their collections and things like that. They definitely started to sell a little bit higher. I've never really been one to try to exploit someone's death and try to make more money.
Of course not.
But it happens, for sure it happens. So, and it'll be that way. With the popularity of the athlete and the sport will kind of depend on how long the higher prices go. Like Kobe stuff is still way higher than it was before his death. Now it is down from where it was the first week or two after he passed. I'm sure with Bush, his stuff will stay high for, maybe a few days or a week, and then it'll drop back down to where it was before. But that's usually what happens when the rookie card in the vintage guys, their rookie cards go up drastically and then settle back down. More modern guys, their autographs jump, their rookies jump, and then they'll settle back down.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. Obviously, I can see why autographs would suddenly become more valuable. And he's kind of an interesting case too, because he had been around for a while, but he sort of fed into his role as kind of a wrestling heel. He wasn't especially one of the most popular drivers. I just wondered, in a tragic situation like this, whether his value would shoot up immediately, and you say it would.
Yeah, it's going to. Maybe not as someone with the popularity of, say, Earnhardt, like he did, who was a huge fan favorite. Like you said, Bush was kind of the bad guy, if you were, if you wanted to look at that, like you said, maybe like a wrestling heel. But then I think on the other hand, a lot of good things he's done has came to light involving kids and things like that. So, I think maybe even people who didn't really like him because all they saw was the racing aspect of him, and kind of being the bad guy, now maybe is seeing a different side of him after his death and saying, oh, maybe he was a personable guy, he liked kids, so maybe you see people kind of start to pick his stuff up now. Maybe he gains a few more fans, from this. I don't know.
All right. One other thing I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Meadowlark Lemons collection is coming up for auction. And this news is coming out on the heels that the Savannah Bananas played in Knoxville this weekend and drew 101,000 fans. These types of teams, the Globetrotters, the Savannah Bananas, do their collectibles have value? What do you try to collect from teams like this?
When you start talking about the Globetrotters, like the old original Globetrotters, what was the guy's name? Curly
Neal.
Like
Curly
you
Neal.
said, Curly Neal, Meadowlark Lemon, those guys, like their stuff has value. There was some cards made back then of them. They have some value if they're in, you can find them in decent shape. People like the autographs from the autograph programs from, some of the old games and things like that. The newer guys, I wouldn't really say there's much market for them. Savannah Bananas, I mean, none of those guys really were major league guys or anything like that. So I wouldn't say there's a huge demand for Savannah Bananas collectibles as much as there is just going to the game and experiencing it.
All right, starting to wind down with Jeremie Stout from Select Cards and Collectibles in downtown Charleston. Hey, man, by the next time I talk to you, the World Cup will be underway here in the United States. People are looking to go to matches. Now, there's been a lot of chatter about how expensive tickets are in New York, but there's a lot of sites for this game. There are probably people who are listening to the show today who are curious about the World Cup and maybe planning to go to matches if they can. If they are going to a match, from a collectible standpoint, what are you looking for here if you're going to a game?
I mean, I personally have always been a fan of programs, and they don't have a ton of value, but for me, if it's a game I went to and I watched, I'm going to want the program from it. I'm going to want my ticket stub from it. Anything that kind of commemorates that game. And then maybe you get lucky and, maybe you see a team that goes on to win the World Cup, or maybe they, set some kind of record when you're there for the most goals scored, or, I don't know, something like that to make the game more memorable. And then, then maybe there's a bigger market. People start wanting those tickets and things like that. But I think, say, for an average fan, just going to one of the matches, just having like a program and a ticket stub, I think was something, to remember going.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, obviously at this level, the idea of getting autographs or jerseys autographed, we're way beyond that. But if you're going to go to a World Cup match, make sure you get yourself a program and anything else that's related to the game, correct?
Yeah, I think I saw, though, that a lot of the camps were going to be open to the public.
Okay.
So if you're wanting to, like I saw Iraq was going to be at the Greenbrier for their camp.
Oh, there you go.
So, I don't know if Iraq has anybody worth getting their autographs or worth collecting, but if you live close to some of the cities that the big teams, France or some of those guys, Germany, some teams that are really known in the World Cup, if you're going to be around one of their practice sites, then, it might be worth trying to go and to get something signed. But as far as going to a match, like you said, I don't think anybody's going to have much luck getting an autograph at a match.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Jeremie, once again, congratulations on being named head coach at South Charleston Middle School. And thanks for coming on the show today. I'll talk to you next month.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Jeremie Stout, Select Cards and Collectibles, downtown Charleston. Thanks to everybody who sent stuff in. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and open up the On the State file in just a minute.
MetroNews Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
State of art. We do it all. Restoration, cleaning.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Welcome back. About 10 minutes till the hour. Quick update, we will have a Tickets Tuesday coming up at 5:33 today to get you a couple of tickets to go see Chicago, the band, here in Charleston. That'll be on June the 20th. And the topics today for Tickets Tuesday, WVU and the NCAA baseball tournament, perfect games in baseball, and the mystery category. Also, a little breaking news within the last couple of minutes. Texas Tech quarterback Brendan Sorsby, his request for reinstatement for eligibility in college football this year has been denied by the NCAA for the 2026 football season. So Brendan Sorsby will not be playing quarterback most likely for Texas Tech. Breaking news, his request, Brendan Sorsby's request for reinstatement for eligibility has been denied by the NCAA. All right, let's get into the on the state file, and we'll start with the birthdays. And as always, we'll start with the sports birthdays. Got some pretty good sports birthdays today. Oh, Coop, this is one of the scariest players I ever interviewed. Greg Lloyd of the Steelers. 61 years old today. 61. Darrell Evans. Good player. Braves, Giants, Tigers, All-Star on the 84 Tigers that won a World Series, 79 years old. Dan Pastorini, quarterback of the Houston Oilers. He played for the Raiders, too, for a while. 77 years old. Wesley Walker of the Jets, 71. Brent Musburger, CBS, ESPN, ABC, one of the organizers of VEASAN, 87 years old today. Let's flash back to the open of the 1988 game between Penn State and WVU at Mountaineer Field.
You may not recognize them, but there's a new powerhouse emerging in college football. And in West Virginia, fans will tell you this is the strongest Mountaineer team ever. They are led by explosive quarterback Major Harris and a defense that has held off every opponent this year. Ranked number 7 and undefeated, the Mountaineers are brimming with pride and confidence for the biggest game they've ever played.
There you go. I tell you what, Musburger could sell it, man. Brent Musburger, 87 years old today. Celebrities' birthdays. Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac is 78. Lenny Kravitz is 62. Helena Bonham Carter is 60. Jeannie Francis from General Hospital is 64 years old today. Philip Michael Thomas from Miami Vice, 77. Pam Greer is 77 today. Lauren Hill's having a birthday today. She's 51. Man, there was something in the water today. And Miles Davis would have been 100 years old today. The American jazz star, born on the state in 1926. He died in 1991. Miles Davis, 100th birthday anniversary. Oh, it's talking about music. Here we go. 1973, Funky Worm by the Ohio Players goes to number 15 on the charts.
Yes, it is. That's right. That's right. 6 feet down.
6 feet down. Funky Worm by the Ohio Players on the charts on this date, 1973. And on this date, 1994, Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley get married. They were only married for 20 months.
A superstar haunted by headlines of child abuse? Could it be true that they had moved into Manhattan's Trump Tower? The scene at Trump Tower today resembled a media snipe hunt. Cameras staking out a building for people who were said to be coming and going on the floor of a van that travels by elevator in this secret entrance. The reason? The New York Post reported the couple has been lent a duplex apartment by Donald Trump.
There you go. So Michael Jackson, Lisa Marie Presley, married on this date in 1994. Our musical birthday to the break, Hank Williams Jr. is 77 today. The 5 things to know at 5 o'clock in sports are coming up next.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
On the next State of Minds.
When something like punk rock comes around, it's very anti everything, and people were really looking down on what they were brought up with. And for us, we found it was kind of fun to embrace it.
Is it a moment or like they're having an episode?
No, but you're right. You're right. We are having a moment. Yeah.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Sports headlines at 5 o'clock. Major League Baseball. Pirates continue their series with the Cubs at PNC tonight. Reds will be at the Mets in New York. The Dirty Birds back in action, hosting High Point, and Geno Malkin returning to the Penguins' 1-year, $5.5 million contract announced today. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're going to have some lingering showers and thunderstorms out there and more developing on Wednesday. Pockets of heavy rainfall can't be ruled out with some of these thunderstorms, and then drying out as we get into Thursday afternoon, Friday, and also into this upcoming weekend. So improving weather later this week. But we do need the rain. We still have severe drought in that orange color, even extreme drought across the panhandle in that red coloring. These are the amounts of precipitation that we are below since January 1st. Parkersburg, 2 3/4 of an inch below average, and Charleston sitting at 5 1/3 inches below average since the beginning of the year. Over the next few days, again through midweek, we do expect to see a few pockets of maybe an inch of total rainfall. Again, these showers and thunderstorms will be moving through during the rest of our Tuesday, and then we'll have some additional showers and storms popping up on Wednesday as well. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Showers and thunderstorms in Atlanta. They need the rain, as well as D.C. It has been very dry in those particular areas, but as we head into the overnight hours from panhandle to panhandle, readings will be falling down into the 60s with more thunderstorms. Again, pockets of heavy rain at times on Wednesday. Davis will be at 60 degrees tomorrow morning. 62 degrees as we head a little farther east, and those daytime highs again approaching 80 degrees from some spots off to the east and also to the south near Moorfield and Petersburg. Sutton will be at 64 degrees, Spencer 64 overnight, and those daytime highs on Wednesday again into the mid 70s in Elkins. Logan at 67 degrees, Wayne 64, and daytime highs again approaching the
All right, one more time.
70s. Showers and thunderstorms fade later Thursday, drying out as we head into the
I don't think this is on your end. I think it's on mine. I have some kind
You
of
own a
weird
boat
thing
because
where,
you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone. You can join the conversation. Text the show at 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304. Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia, and it's time to start the third and final hour of our program today, Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in today, folks. Man, we got a lot of stuff to do before we get on out of here at 6 o'clock. Tickets Tuesday. It's a Tickets Tuesday here. Some details on that in just a moment. We're going to reset our question of the day. Also, kind of a breaking news story, breaking hockey news story that was happening just as we were coming on the air today, that Jenny Malkin of the Penguins has decided to run it back, a 1-year deal with the Pens for $5.5 million. Alex Wiederspiel, our Metro News hockey insider, is going to join me here in just a minute to talk about that particular situation. We will play in or out. That will be at 5:25, and at 5:33, that's when we're going to open up the phone lines, and we will play Tickets Tuesday. And we have come to the end of the run of tickets we have for the show with Chicago the Band here at the Charleston Convention Center. That will be on June the 20th. Now, the phone number here is a little bit different than the text line. The phone number here is 800-765-8255. 800-765-8255. 800-765-TALK. Here's how Tickets Tuesday works, if you've never played before. And number one, I gotta say that we have never failed to get a prize distributed to one of our great listeners, and I'm not planning on breaking that string today. So we'll open up the phone lines at 800-765-8255 right after in or out today. You get on the line with me, you pick your category. The categories rotate. Today's categories are as follows. WVU and the NCAA baseball tournament. West Virginia is going to host a regional beginning on Friday against Binghamton in Morgantown. That's one category. Baseball perfect games with a West Virginia connection is the second category. And then we have the mystery category. If you've been listening to the show today, you have heard the answer to today's mystery category. You pick your category, you get a multiple choice question, you answer that question correctly, and you win the tickets to go see Chicago the Band here in Charleston. That will be on June 20th. We've given away a few tickets to this show. These are the last 2 tickets that we have, so we'll do that at 5:33. All right. Coop, have we got Alex Wiederspiel on the line? Okay, good deal. We'll talk to him in just a sec. By the way, I just sent you a video that the Penguins put out for the announcement of Geno Malkin today. So I just sent that to you. It's about a minute. So we'll play that in this segment as well. All right, here's the question of the day. And it's sponsored by Salango Law. Kids get an average of $52 a month in allowance, which is $36 more than their parents earned at the same age when adjusted for inflation. Question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. What did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid? And what did you spend your allowance money on? What did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid? And what did you spend your allowance money on? The text line here, 304-TALK 304, 304-8255 304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. Here's Jody on X. He says, hey, Dave, we got a couple of dollars a week most of the time, but in the late 60s, early 70s, we picked up the glass soda bottles in town and used the deposits to buy candy, more soda. Good times. Good times. All right, we got a lot of text responses to this as well, so we'll get into that in just a little bit, and we'll have more of your responses to our question of the day before we wrap it up in the last segment of the show. All right, let me get Alex Wiederspiel in here to get his reaction to this news about Geno Malkin coming back 1 year, $5.5 million to remain with the Penguins. Alex, thanks for making an emergency stop by the show today. What do you think of the deal?
My pleasure. Think of it as a house call. I'm good with the deal. I mean, I think Penguin fans' reactions will be more interesting, though I suspect that after the season that the Penguins just had, they're going to be more open to this than they would have been a year ago. There's also $3.5 million worth of incentives, $500,000 of which is fairly attainable. He would have to play more games than he did this season, but if he played 63 games, he would wind up with an extra $500,000, and then there's playoff bonuses as well for rounds 1. So I think a pretty good, pretty fair contract overall, and very fair to both sides, and utilizing the structure of the NHL, which allows for these bonus-laden contracts for players who are over the age of 35 at the time of their signing. But I do think it is interesting because I feel like if Kyle Dubas had not gone on such a heater as the general manager in the past season, essentially the past year might be more accurate of putting it, I don't know that they would be bringing Malkin back in this scenario right now. I think his work has shown that the Penguins can be at least relevant again, and if there was no chance at relevance, I wonder if they would have just let Malkin walk and said, we're going to let some younger guys play. I know he's not blocking anybody specifically, but they do have a pretty big class of prospects who are getting closer and closer to being NHL ready, and that could very well start to happen and start to reveal itself this season. So overall, good deal, 1 year, bonus-laden, all things to I think be pleased with, and to have him back and potentially retire as a Penguin is great. I do wonder what happens if we are back in this exact same circumstance 365 days from now, and he still wants to play.
Hey, Coop, we've got the Penguins release. It's a video release, and it goes for about 50 seconds. One of the questions that you just brought up, I think, is answered in Malkin's reaction. Here it is.
Pittsburgh, it's my second hometown, I love this city, I love these fans so much.
I really like Evgeny Malkin's game. I saw something that looked very familiar. Malkin on the backhand, he scores! As a guy not taking any shortcuts at all, he has the determination, and when he gets galloping like that, look out, man. Geno's loose, scores! Geno Machino! Welcome back, Geno!
To
amazing. Can't take this for granted just because we keep seeing milestones being hit.
A moment made for Malkin. 1,400 points.
16th career hat trick.
A heck of a milestone for Evgeny Malkin.
I feel confidence from my game. Why not one more? I'm still hungry. I'm glad to be here. I hope I stay here, like seat 10, and be like playing this forever.
All right, so there you go. And we're talking with Alex Wiederspiel, our MetroNews Hockey Insider, following the news late this afternoon that Geno Malkin is returning to the Penguins. 1 year, $5.5 million, a contract that's got a lot of incentives. He'll be 40 in July, 61 points last year, 19 goals, 42 assists in 56 games. Alex, in that release, he says, quote, "Best city, best fans, I stay one more year," unquote. So should we be considering this a farewell tour, that this will be his last season?
The only reason I would say no is that we had sort of similar hints from Alex Ovechkin at this time last summer, and now that's very much up for debate whether or not he is actually going to retire or come back for another season. So I think while it's certainly you can read into it that way, until anything definitive comes out, it's hard for me to take it, because watch, he could come out, play another really strong season, and maybe, on the off chance that he's healthier, what if he plays 70 games next season? What if the Penguins make the playoffs again? I have a hard time thinking that he will, if he's not 100% committed to retiring, that if they have another good season, that he'll just up and walk away on his own. So I think I heard it, and I think that's a fair read of it. I just won't, until I hear it directly from the source's mouth that I am hanging it up, I won't believe it.
All right, this may be a kind of an obvious question, but I think it has to be asked here. If Malkin did not have a good season this year, he probably would not be coming back. Is that fair?
So I can't answer it definitively. I obviously don't work on the beat. It's probably a good question though. I'm gonna reach out to one of my contacts and get a vibe check on that, because my understanding was a year ago at this time, that's sort of where this was headed, that this was probably going to be the end. And that was because the Penguins had been in this malaise for a couple of seasons, hadn't made the playoffs since 2022, and that there was a feeling that it wasn't that about blocking individual players, it was about being organizationally a roadblock to moving on. Now I think that conversation has very much changed, obviously, with what happened this past season. So I think that's a fair read of it. I really do.
All right, here's the thing also I wanted to ask you about. In terms of Malkin, now he's played his entire career with Sidney Crosby and Letang, but I mean, when you look at the numbers here, 3 Stanley Cups, a Conn Smythe, a Hart Trophy, two Ross trophies, the Lindsay Award. He's got a Calder as well. If he didn't play another game in the NHL, he's an all-time top 25 player, right?
Yeah, diplomatically, he's one of the probably 10 best players in the post-expansion era. And, if I recall correctly, The Athletic had him as a top 50 player of all time. I'd have to go back and double check when they did their top 99 with the sort of the tongue in cheek joke there being that Gretzky was obviously number 1, but they had Crosby as a top 10 player. I think Malkin, by the numbers, he's probably the 4th best Penguin ever. Maybe the 3rd. I think the conversation would be between him and Jagr, obviously.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I think there's actually a pretty strong case that Malkin is probably ahead of Jagr in that department. So top 25 of all time, I mean, it's a tough list. The funny thing about these lists is you run out of room really quickly when you start doing these, but the numbers are obviously spectacular. And one of the things that I think people outside of Pittsburgh tend to forget is that Malkin, during one of those Stanley Cup runs and a couple of those playoff runs, he was the guy when Sidney Crosby was dealing with the type of injury issues to his neck and head that had us uncertain about what his future was going to be, which feels like an entire lifetime ago now. Obviously not a concern any longer, but there was a point where they were asking Malkin to really carry the show. So it's diplomatic. I would say top 25. It's reasonable to ask it, and he's if he's not in it, he's awfully close.
When you talk about playoff performance, I mean, Malkin, 183 playoff games with the Pens, 183 points. So, I mean, he's scoring a point per game in the playoffs, so that gives you a little bit of an indication of how big he came, how big he would come up in big games. And over 1,400 career points, only Sid and Lemieux have more as Penguins. So this is it's a pretty interesting story. Now, how this is going to impact the Steelers rebuild and their effort to get younger after, frankly, they look pretty old in that first round exit against Philadelphia. But the big story today is that Malkin is returning. He'll be 40 in July, 1 year, $5.5 million salary with incentives. Alex, thanks for jumping on an emergency discussion about the Penguins. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Alex Wiederspiel, our MetroNews Hockey Insider. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and play in or out in just a moment.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304. Or tweet at WEEKLEY. This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? Odd times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
I always said I was going to move to a mountain in Tucker County, but probably going to put a data center on it, so I got to find a new plan.
Oh, you did not.
Oh, I did. Told you I was a little grumpy today.
Oh, man, you got some zingers today, Dave. I love it.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
What do you know about hot dogs? Because we've been all about hot dogs this week.
I love hot dogs, and I love them with Miracle Whip.
Oh, God, I forgot. Never mind.
And onions.
Okay.
I actually, yesterday morning, I had a hot dog for breakfast at 6:45 with onions and Miracle Whip.
And with that, we'll be back right after this.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on MetroNews Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
The Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
right, welcome back. 5:23. Time to play Little In or Out. Macatar Murphy's here.
Hello.
Hey, man. One of our topics has a Milwaukee connection.
Oh, really?
So,
well.
Be on your P's and Q's. Let's do it. Every day at this time, we focus on the stuff you talk about around the office. We call it In or Out. The setup is simple. 3 categories: food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity, the topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Coop, are you ready to go?
I am definitely ready.
KFC is reintroducing their popular fried pickles. Strong demand nationwide. They're also debuting a drink called the Signature Prickly Pear Lemonade, made with prickly pear cactus and created to complement the fried pickles. But we're talking about fried pickles here. In or out?
Is there a drink that actually pairs with fried pickles?
The Colonel says there is.
Look, have iced tea and have sodas. That's all I care about at fast food joints. I don't care about any of this other stuff. I haven't had these at KFC, but frankly, I like me a fried pickle. And, they put some of the crunch on there, I'm in. So sure, I'll give it a try.
Macatar Murphy, where do you fall on the KFC fried pickles? In or out?
Is the batter on the pickles, is it the same stuff that's on the fried chicken?
Why are you asking me? I have no idea.
I feel like you would know.
We need to know this. I know.
I did post a picture of it on the socials.
Here's my problem. I don't really like pickles.
Oh, well.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I got to be out. Sorry.
Hey, I'm glad you said it because I'm right there with you.
Really?
I'm not a real pickle person,
so
I'm going to be out. But I would like to come in and order the Signature Prickly Pear Lemonade. And when they say, "Would you like your fried pickle?" No, I just like the Prickly Pear Lemonade.
Yeah.
Gut reaction is next. A Wisconsin motorist learned an expensive lesson after physically removing a road-closed barrier and driving into fresh concrete on May the 12th. The incident occurred at the I-41, 894, US 45, and National Avenue interchange in West Allis, just outside Milwaukee. There you go. The driver's pickup sank into the newly poured concrete that construction crews had been protecting with the barricade. Removing a road-closed barrier, Coop. Removing a road-closed barrier, in or out?
Yeah, this is one of those things that you hope happens to someone when they do something like this, all right? Like, it's like, oh, man, that guy needs to have whatever happened, and it happened to him. I saw the picture. It's pretty bad. That truck's not going to survive, I don't think, although that cement being in it. Yeah, I'm obviously out on this. I really dislike when people do things like that and think that they're the special one.
Matt, you're from the Milwaukee area, so let's have it. Removing a road-closed barrier, in or out?
I actually know the specific place where this happened. I saw pictures from the local station there, WTMJ, with this. It was so funny. Here's the thing. Up there, I would totally be out on this. But here in Charleston, I know sometimes events happen and then the barriers are up a little past when it's all happening. I've been known to move a barrier or two.
What?
I have. We work in radio. We are sometimes privileged to be places where the masses are not. So I have moved barriers, and I will be in on it.
Oh, you're going to be in?
Yeah, buddy.
All right. I tell you what, that's a really good answer. I didn't see that coming. No, I'm not going to be moving any road-closed barriers. I'm going to be out on that. All right, finally, this one's about a celebrity. So sad to hear about this today. The Atlanta Braves have passed the news officially that Bob Horner, one of the staples of the Braves teams of the late 70s and the 80s, has passed away at the age of 68. Bob Horner is one of those rare baseball players, Coop. He never spent a day in the minor leagues. He went directly from Arizona State to the Atlanta Braves. Think about this. When he got to the Braves, Ted Turner was the owner and Bobby Cox was the manager. All three of them have now passed. I'm talking Bob Horner, in or out?
Yeah, I remember him from when I was a kid. Pretty good player at times, decent slugger at different points in his career. I didn't look up any of his numbers before this segment, but memory is kind to him. I think he's a pretty good player, and obviously side of his passing. So, yeah, I'll be in, of course.
Injuries limited him. 277 hitter, 218 homers with an 839 OPS in just over 1,000 games in 10 Major League seasons. He also played in Japan. Matt, Bob Horner, in or out?
Here's another Milwaukee connection. Where were the Braves before they were in Atlanta?
Oh, that's right.
They were in Milwaukee.
That's true.
You know what I wish? You remember back in the day when WGN Chicago would have, one of the stations.
Superstation.
Yes, you could watch the Braves games. That was my childhood. I was a little too young to remember this guy, but had a pretty good career. Went straight from college to the majors. I'm in.
He's one of those guys. Here's a list he's on that's pretty rare. He had a 4-homer game. He had a 4-homer game against the Expos, July 6, 1986, at Gone for Not Forgotten, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. So rest in peace, Bob Horner. Very good player for the Atlanta Braves. Thanks, guys. All right, phone lines are open, so let's do this thing. Let's get in here. Tickets Tuesday is coming next, so we'll play it when we come back. The phone lines are open now. This is MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's MetroNews television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for checking in. Meteorologist Todd Nelson here, and we're going to have some lingering showers and thunderstorms out there and more developing on Wednesday. Pockets of heavy rainfall can't be ruled out with some of these thunderstorms, and then drying out as we get into Thursday afternoon, Friday, and also into this upcoming weekend. So improving weather later this week. But we do need the rain. We still have severe drought in that orange color, even extreme drought across the panhandle in that red coloring. These are the amounts of precipitation that we are below since January 1st. Parkersburg, 2 3/4 of an inch below average, and Charleston sitting at 5 1/3 inches below average since the beginning of the year. Over the next few days, again through midweek, we do expect to see a few pockets of maybe an inch of total rainfall. Again, these showers and thunderstorms will be moving through during the rest of our Tuesday, and then we'll have some additional showers and storms popping up on Wednesday as well. Time now for a Fly CRW forecast. It starts at home. Showers and thunderstorms in Atlanta. They need the rain, as well as D.C. It has been very dry in those particular areas, but as we head into the overnight hours from panhandle to panhandle, readings will be falling down into the 60s with more thunderstorms. Again, pockets of heavy rain at times on Wednesday. Davis will be at 60 degrees tomorrow morning. 62 degrees as we head a little farther east, and those daytime highs again approaching 80 degrees from some spots off to the east and also to the south near Moorfield and Petersburg. Sutton will be at 64 degrees, Spencer 64 overnight, and those daytime highs on Wednesday again into the mid 70s in Elkins. Logan at 67 degrees, Wayne 64, and daytime highs again approaching the upper 70s. Showers and thunderstorms fade later Thursday, drying out as we head into the weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Stay connected to what's happening today in West Virginia.
What about this, or what about that? And it just went back and forth. And I was just the guy reading the text. Okay, so what's your take on the whole thing?
Well, now you just get me fired up. Now
right.
you just
okay.
Now you just
so
get
I'm
me
gonna turn on. I'm gonna run down to Wendy's and grab a burger, and I'll be back.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television. The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 till the hour. Metro News Hotline. Oh, man, Tickets Tuesday. I do love it so. Amazingly, we have one line open. Amazing. So, Tickets Tuesday today. Get on the air with me at 800-765-8255, 800-765-TALK. Pick your categories. The categories rotate. Today's categories are WVU in the NCAA baseball tournament, baseball perfect games, and the mystery category. Pick your category, get a multiple choice question, answer it correctly, and you win 2 tickets to go see Chicago, the band, here in Charleston at the Convention Center. That will be on June the 20th. So, now we are less than a month away from the show. And Coop, these are the last 2 tickets we have, right? The absolute last 2.
That is true.
So we've been giving away.
They're a hard habit to break, but we're going to have to do it.
Right. Hard habit to break. Does anybody really know what time it is? What's time to play Tickets Tuesday?
It's hard to say. I'm sorry.
That's right.
The whole ordeal.
So are we full up now?
We had line 3 that just dropped off. So if you want to give us a call back, line 3, I was just getting ready to get to you. I got to do, there's multiple phone lines here. So when you're calling in, it might take a minute for me to get there. 1-800-765-8255 if you want to get in. 1-800-765-8255. That's our last line if you want to get in. But we have callers waiting.
There you go. By the way, I'm glad you brought this up. Shows like this don't take, and I'm not sure why this is, shows like this don't take nearly as many calls as we used to. So people just aren't used to the way things work on these things. When the line is ringing, someone is going to pick it up eventually, okay? Going to pick it up and put you in queue, and you're going to talk to Coop, and then you're going to talk to me. That's how it works. So, we have one more line. Oh, well, now we're full. Now we're full. Hey, before we go to the phones, though, let me do a quick reset on our question of the day. We'll get into more of your responses, and I want your stories on this. We'll get more of your responses after our next commercial break. Kids get an average of $52 a month in their allowance, which is $36 more than their parents earned at the same age when adjusted for inflation. Here's the question of the day, and it is sponsored by Salango Law. What did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid? And what did you spend your allowance money on? What did you have to do to earn your allowance as a kid? And what did you spend your allowance money on? The text line, which is different than the phone line, text line is 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on X at Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's, WEEKLEY. All right, Coop, let's start with Baxter. Hey, Baxter, are you in Chapmanville?
I am.
Hey, there you go, man. What do you do in Chapmanville?
Oh, well, I live in Chapmanville, but I actually work in Cays Valley, and I'm on my way home. I'm almost back to Chapmanville.
Attaboy. All right. Are you a fan of Chicago?
Yeah. The band, yeah.
Yeah.
The town, not so much.
Not so much. Fair enough. All right, man. We want to hook you up with some tickets to go see this show here in Charleston at the Convention Center on June the 20th. Here are the categories today. WVU baseball in the NCAA tournament, perfect games with a West Virginia connection, and the mystery category. What do you want?
Well, the one I feel strongest would be WVU and the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
And I'm hoping.
All right, here we go. Let's give it a shot. WVU has a history in the NCAA tournament that dates back to the 1950s. Although its most explosive and successful era is arguably happening right now. How many seasons in a row have the Mountaineers made the NCAA tournament? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Do you need the question again?
I do not. I think I know the answer. I'm going with 3.
3 is incorrect. 3 is
Oh!
incorrect. Hey, that's okay. Listen, now you understand how to play the game. You're new to the game, so the next time, feel free to call back in. We'd love to have you again.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. There you go, Chapmanville, on his way home from Tays Valley. Oh, is Herman on the line? Let's talk to Herman.
Yes, he is.
Hey, Herman, calling all the way in from Mississippi. How you doing?
Doing fine, Dave. How are you?
I am fine. Hey, man, what is your connection to West Virginia?
I don't have one.
Okay. How did
one day I was clowning at work and I saw an icon on my computer. It was a radio. I clicked on it and just started clicking around and I found you guys.
Yeah, you've been listening to us for a while.
I love that. That's absolutely amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you do down there in Mississippi.
Well, I'm a pastor of a small church and grandfather of 3, married 35 years. That's really all there is to tell.
All right. Well, that's fine. How's the weather today?
Hot.
Yeah, man.
It's only 85, but
hey, man, it's
going to get hotter.
Yeah, it can get hot in Mississippi, that's for sure. All right. Well, I tell you what are you going to do if you win these tickets?
I'm going to try to do my best to make a trip to come see you guys. Come up there.
I would absolutely love that. I would absolutely love to see you, man. So what are the 3 categories would you like? We've got WVU baseball in the NCAA tournament, perfect games with a West Virginia connection, or the mystery category.
I want to try the perfect games with a West Virginia connection.
All right, here you go. Well, today is the anniversary of arguably the greatest game ever pitched and lost. It was on this date in 1959 that the Pirates left-hander Harvey Haddix retired 36 consecutive Milwaukee Braves, pitched 12 perfect innings. But in the bottom of the 13th inning, the perfection unraveled due to a fielding error, an intentional walk to Hank Aaron, and a walk-off hit by Joe Adcock. Haddix lost the game 1-0, finished with a stat line of 12 2/3 innings of work, 1 hit, and 1 earned run. Who tossed a 12-inning complete game shutout that night for the Braves and got the win despite the Pirates' Harvey Haddix throwing 12 perfect innings? Was it Warren Spahn, Bob Buell, Lou Burdett, or Early Wynn? Do you need the question again?
No, I'm going to go with Warren Spahn.
Warren Spahn is incorrect. Warren Spahn is incorrect. But doggone, Herman, well, just think all the money you saved by not having to come up here to go to the show.
Well, I still want to come. I mean, it's on my bucket list to make it to West Virginia.
Hey, man, if you make it on up here, we definitely want to get you on the air. So let me know what you're doing. And, hey, I appreciate all the answers you send to our social media questions.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. Herman.
Have a good one.
You as well, Herman. Coop, who else we got on the line? Okay. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Hey, man, thanks for calling in, and thanks for. Yeah, you know what? We got an open line now too. So if you want to get in here, 800-765-8255, 800-765-TALK. We've had a couple of contestants fall off the line, so get on in here. Of course, Steve is thinking, man, I'm just going to win this thing. I'm just going to end this thing right here.
Yeah, I'm still here. I thought maybe you hung up on me, man.
No, dude, we got you. Hey, where are you calling from?
I live in West Daly, West Virginia.
Attaboy. All right, so we want to get you to this Chicago concert here in Charleston on June the 20th. We got 3 categories: WVU baseball in the NCAA tournament, perfect games with a West Virginia connection, and the mystery category. Which one would you like?
Let me try the mystery category.
All right, mystery category. Okay. On this date in 1994, Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley tied the knot in a secret ceremony in the Dominican Republic. How long were Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley actually married? Less than a year, less than 2 years, less than 3 years, or less than 4 years? Do you need the question again?
I'm going to say less than a year.
Less than a year is incorrect. Less than a year is incorrect.
Well,
hey, you know what, though?
Thank you.
This is the first time you've called in, right?
No, I've called in a couple times. I love your show. I love radio, and I love your show, man.
Hey, man, thanks for the encouragement. It really is good to hear. Hey, you know how to play the game, so try again sometime in the future. I promise we'll be doing this again.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
All right, Steve. All right. Let's go to the Eastern Panhandle and talk to Larry. How you doing, Larry?
Doing great.
Hey, man, are you on the road?
Yeah, I'm heading home.
Attaboy. Hands at 10 and 2, son. So I want to bring you down to Charleston for this concert to go see Chicago on June the 20th. We got 3 categories today: WVU and the NCAA tournament, perfect games and a West Virginia connection, and the mystery category. Which one would you like?
Burdett of Nitro with the perfect game connection against Harvey Haddock.
Well, that is correct. And don't put your car in the ditch, because you got a couple of tickets. So what's the plan here, Larry? You kind of come to Charleston for the show?
Well, that gives me a good reason to come to Charleston. I'm originally from the Valley. I went to East Bank High School.
Attaboy. Okay.
And my sister still lives in the Valley. My stepson is a city councilman in Charleston, probably the best city councilman Charleston's ever had. His name's Emmett Pepper.
Okay. All right.
And if I get these Chicago tickets, that'll give me a reason to come down.
Hey, so what do you do over there in Martinsburg? Are you retired?
I am retired. I've lived here in the Martinsburg area twice. Back in 1990, I had a young family and was working for the state, and money was tight, and I got offered a job in Washington, D.C., and so excuse me, I relocated out here and rode a train in for 5 years.
Okay.
And then many, many years later, after I retired, I wanted to come back. So in 2015, my wife and I moved back out here to the Martinsburg area.
All right.
Primarily because we had a really good church here, an independent Bible church, when we lived here the first time. So we wanted to kind of get back. Plus, my son lived in Baltimore. My daughter was in Connecticut. So let us get closer to them.
That sounds like you got a real nice family. Tell you what, stay on the line, and Coop will get all your details, and we'll get you hooked up for these tickets to go see Chicago. Thanks for calling in, and thanks so much for listening to the program.
I appreciate that. I listen to it every day. I love it.
All right. Thank you, Larry. All right, Coop, you got your handle on Larry in there? Let me give you just a couple of details on this perfect game story before we have to take a break. So let me just do the reset on this. Perfect games and a West Virginia connection. Today's the anniversary of arguably the greatest game ever pitched and lost. On this date in 1959, Harvey Haddock of the Pirates retired 36 consecutive Braves in Milwaukee, pitched 12 perfect innings. Bottom of the 13th, it unraveled a bit. There was a fielding error, an intentional walk to Hank Aaron, and then a walk-off by Joe Adcock. Haddock lost the game 1-0, finished with a stat line of 12 2/3 innings, 1 hit and 1 earned run. The question was, who tossed a 12-inning complete game shutout that night for the Braves and got the win despite Harvey Haddock throwing 12 perfect innings? Larry from Martinsburg got the answer. The answer is Nitro's Lou Burdett. He threw a shutout of his own. While Haddock didn't allow a single base runner through 12 innings, Burdett was navigating problems the whole night. The Pirates had 12 hits in that game against Burdett, but they were all singles. Burdett didn't walk a single batter. He stranded 8 Pirate runners on base, got 3 double plays, and ultimately pitched all 13 scoreless innings to win the game. So a lot of people know the story of Haddock's and maybe arguably the best game ever pitched, but it was actually Lou Burdett of Nitro who won the game when he threw 13 shutout innings that night against the Pirates in 1953. Hey, thanks to everybody who played the game. We love to do Tickets Tuesday. We do it occasionally when we've got some good prizes, and we hope everybody that won tickets to go see Chicago on June the 20th here in Charleston has a great time. We'll take a break and come back with more in just a moment.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
Hi, I'm Brittany Hedrick. As an environmental project manager at CEC, working in West Virginia, the land taught me respect and responsibility. Whether it's navigating complex regulations or overseeing site assessments, I ensure every project thrives. CEC isn't just where I work, it's where I make a difference. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
When you hired me, you were 29. You seemed like you were 50 when you were 29. You were running that thing like a 50-year-old man. All right, we got to go get some tape. Come on, get out of there.
I think I've sort of always been 50, and I think I'm 50 now.
Yeah, me too. That's me too. a great point.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, blockage. Is it allergy? Is it sinus? A lot of times it may be both. The Delview Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center is a clinic where we house all specialties that take care of allergies and sinuses together. You name it, we have it. It's one-stop shopping. Anything ENT that needs done for the citizens of West Virginia, we can provide that care.
All right, welcome back. Relatively short segment. We had so much fun with Tickets Tuesday. Thanks to everybody who called in Had a lot of fun. Larry from Martinsburg won. Nice talk with Herman from Mississippi. Coop, you ready to pay off the other questions? Let's do it. WVU baseball in the NCAA tournament. WVU's got a great history in the NCAA tournament that goes back to the 50s. How many seasons in a row have the Mountaineers made it to the NCAA tournament? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Let's see. Our guesser took the one I was going to guess, which was 3.
3.
So I'm pretty sure it's more than 2, so it must be 4.
It's 4.
Okay.
4 is correct.
Okay.
So West Virginia went to the tournament 2023, 2024 last year, and they made it again this year. The other question that did not get answered was the mystery category. Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley.
Yeah, right.
They were married in a secret ceremony on this date in 1994 in the Dominican Republic. How long were they married? Less than a year, less than 2 years, less than 3 years, less than 4 years.
If my math is right, 20 months is less than 2 years.
That's correct. So there you go. Got those answered. We had one text message I wanted to get in here really quickly. We were talking about the Bob Horner of the Braves passing at the age of 68. The Braves announced that today. 304-993. Dave, gosh, Bob Horner, Dale Murphy, Bruce Benedict, Pascual Perez, they were all amazing. Part of my childhood. I hate to hear this about Bob Horner. Pascual Perez. Now, he was a Pirate originally, and when he went to the Braves, his nickname was Perimeter Pascual because if you remember, he had that one start he missed in August of 1982 when he kept circling Interstate 285 around Atlanta, and he just kept going around and around the city, and eventually he ran out of gas, and he and he missed his start.
I don't know that I remember that. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, he was circling Interstate 285 and missed his scheduled start. That was the date is August 19th, 1982. The interwebs are amazing on that. I remember that story, but I didn't know the exact date.
I do remember having his card in Stratomatic Baseball.
Good pitcher.
Him and Oil Can Boyd. They were like my two best pitchers.
Yeah, they're probably about the same size. Really wiry and could both throw hard. Let's take a break. We're back to wrap it for the day in a minute.
The YMCA is just a starting line. For the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is diversity in unity, a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
Ask yourself what you will miss more, your children or cigarettes. As long as I can remember, my mother smoked. She died from lung cancer when I was 16. I could not take the chance of continuing smoking and not being here for my daughter. I know how much I needed my mom still, and I didn't realize it until I had lost her.
You're not just quitting for yourself. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
After my wife died, I felt like I lost everything, including my love of fishing. But one day, my granddaughter called, and I realized I still had a lot to look forward to. I got referred to a psychiatrist who explained depression can happen to anyone. Getting help doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post-9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing, to get the help you need,
to find peace. And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Folks, that's going to do it for the show today. We thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for the news at the top of the hour. Sports Line's on the other side. My name's Dave Weekley. I will talk to you tomorrow beginning at 3:06, right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia. Is presented by Salango Law, salangolaw.com. Hear Hotline weekdays from 3 until 6 on this MetroNews station or wvmetronews.com. Visit the site or your favorite podcast service for past shows and features. This has been Hotline, presented by Salango Law on MetroNews, the voice of West Virginia.